On today's menu, a delicious recipe so good you won't believe how easy it is. A simple shoyu ramen. Lei hong ma, that's us going in Cantonese. Welcome to Young Man Cooking. I'm Yeung. Making ramen at home is seemingly very complicated and time-consuming, but the beauty of ramen is that you can really make it your own. It can be as simple or complicated as you wish. If you enjoyed today's recipe, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Let's begin. I'm going to start off by making a light stock, or also called a dashi. Now, this is not the only way of making something. Like I always say, this is just simply one way. This will be kind of like the base of the soup for that ramen. 3 dry shiitake mushrooms. About 6 grams kombu. Kombu is a thick seaweed that packs an incredible amount of umami. It also smells pretty amazing. If you can't find this exact kombu, you can sub this out for kelp. 1 large piece crushed garlic. Crush a small piece of ginger. 1 teaspoon black peppercorns. Pinch of salt. Bring about 3.5 cups of water to boil. Remember, you can make this light dashi ahead of time, even a few days if you like. Pour the hot water into the jar and let it infuse for about 6 to 8 hours. It doesn't get any easier than that. The beauty of this is that you can make this ahead of time the night before, or you can make this in the morning, leave for work, come home, you'll have this nice light dashi waiting for you. Preheat the oven to 375. Bring a pot of water to boil for the noodles. Remove the end bits to the fresh shiitake mushrooms and chop in half. In this episode, I'm using about 50 grams of fresh shiitake mushrooms, but of course you can use any other mushrooms you have on hand. 5 slices smoked tofu. Place the veggies in a mixing bowl. 25 grams broccolini. Small drizzle of avocado oil. Toss to coat. Transfer the veggies onto a baking sheet. Spread the veggies out so that they cook evenly. Just making enough for myself today, but of course you can multiply this recipe to make more if you like. Bake in the oven for 5 to 7 minutes. This here is an amazingly aromatic, extraordinary flavored scallion ginger oil made for another recipe from a previous episode. I'll definitely leave a link in the description box below for you to check this out, make this really easily at home. This will add so much crazy flavor and aroma to that ramen. You can also find another link in that description box where you can check out or pick up your very own official Young Man Cooking ramen bowls. These were inspired by my travels in Japan, and it's so exciting to have this an actual reality. Now, let's continue making that ramen. Pour the light dashi into another saucepan and bring to a boil. You can reuse these rehydrated shiitake mushrooms for other recipes or for today's ramen if you really like, but most of the flavor has already kind of seeped into that dashi. But you can definitely reuse the kombu to make an amazing crunchy seaweed salad made in a previous episode. I'll definitely leave another link in the description box below for you to check that out. Cook the ramen noodles to package instructions, in this case 3 minutes. In this episode, I'm using a 90-gram bundle of noodles. Prep the serving bowl. Half teaspoon soy sauce. 1 teaspoon maple syrup. 1 teaspoon dark soy sauce. Splash of toasted sesame oil. Whisk to combine the flavorings. It's recommended not to use a metal whisk as to not scratch the bowl. When the veggies are done, set them aside. When the dashi comes to a boil, turn the heat off. Pour the hot broth into the serving bowl, combining the extraordinary flavors. When the noodles are done, strain them out. Carefully place the noodles into the broth. Assemble the toppings starting with the mushrooms, broccolini, smoked tofu, a tablespoon of the aromatic scallion ginger oil, sprinkle with black sesame seeds and serve. You can now serve up this delicious ramen at home with absolute confidence. Not only does that look amazing, it smells just incredible. Oh man, that broth is light yet so rich and packs a huge amount of umami. Visually, you have this deep, dark looking broth. Then there's these complementary earthy colors from the shiitake mushrooms, the beautiful bright green from the broccolini. You can see the separation in that broth and the ginger scallion oil. It has this rich, umami, salty, little sweetness from the maple syrup. The toasted sesame oil, along with the scallion ginger oil, really packs this extraordinary aromatic fragrance, and yet that broth is really just light and refreshing. There's this really dynamic range of flavors and textures when you enjoy the al dente noodles with the chewiness of the shiitake mushrooms and that smoked tofu, which adds this extraordinary smoky flavor. In contrast to the crunchy freshness of the broccolini, there is a deep mushroom earthy flavor in that broth from the fresh shiitake mushrooms and the dried, along with that delightful kombu. Visually, it looks like a restaurant quality ramen, and yet when you think about it, there wasn't really too much cooking. The toppings were baked in the oven, and that light dashi was made simply using a jar, some dried ingredients, and some boiling water. Definitely a simple yet delicious ramen you can make on repeat. Like I always say on the channel, there's so many moving parts and flavors and textures in there that it's definitely a party I'd like everyone to attend. To find out more information or to pick up your very own official Yeung Men Cooking Ramen bowls, definitely check out that link in the description box below. You can also take a peek inside the Yeung Men Cooking cookbooks, the Yeung Men Cooking merch, and plant-based sushi masterclass. If you enjoyed today's recipe, definitely give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. If you're not already subscribed with that notification bell clicked, definitely do so you won't miss a single episode.